So should the Angels extend Shohei Otani? And now he's 27 years old. He's outer worldly right now, obviously, and he's going to be a league leader in a lot of offensive things. Not necessarily the pitching side. He's pitching pretty well, but I think the Angels are doing it the right way too. Kind of limiting his innings on the pitching side. Being removed from Tommy John and kind of coming back and letting his offense do the talking, and it is talking loud, as we know, and quite honestly, it was exciting to see him at the home run derby. It was great to see him pitching an inning, okay, but it was better to see him at the home run derby, hitting some bombs and competing with these other guys. It was really cool to see. And the fact of the matter is, I know there's comparisons to him and Babe Ruth. It's the only person you kind of think of with this two-way guy when you think of Shohei Otani, at least in my opinion. But keep in mind, this is one like crazy year of Shohei Otani doing both. Babe Ruth's situation was different. He was the best pitcher in baseball for the 5 years. And if you look at his stats, he averaged almost 19 wins a year, which is insane. And then he became a full-time hitter. He didn't necessarily even though he was hitting bombs as a pitcher, but he wasn't doing it to the capacity that Otani's doing it now. But could you imagine if he did for 15 or 20 years? He probably had 1,000 home runs. Or if he just became a full-time hitter without being a pitcher. It just showed that he was the greatest talent in baseball history. And Otani shows that type of talent, but I wouldn't put him in the Babe Ruth conversation at any point unless he has 7 or 8 more years like this and does both, because it doesn't make any sense. Just like I don't think it makes any sense to put Jacob deGrom in the Hall of Fame conversation. He's been dominant for about 3. You need to be dominant for 10, not 3. Okay? 3 is not enough for Hall of Fame. Sorry, but people might disagree with me, but no. All right? No. Not even close. But he does have Hall of Fame stuff. If he does it for another 4 or 5 years, different conversation. But I don't see the point in doing it now. If you look at his stats, he doesn't have 150 wins. He doesn't have 2,500 strikeouts or 3,000 strikeouts. So let's temper that one, please. I would temper the Shohei Otani situation. But that being said, if I were the Angels GM or owner, I would make him an offer now. I would say we want to give you an extension, a 4 to 5 year extension. He's 27 now. He's not a free agent until 2024. Okay, so he's got another year under contract, and then a year of arbitration, and then free agency in 2024. So, and I think this year's making $3 million. Next year is $5 million, and then arbitration. He'll probably make $20 million in arbitration if he's still performing the way he's performing. So, and if he is, and he likely will be, he's a smart player, he's young. I would make him, again, I would offer him a 4 or 5 year extension now and just tack it on. Big money, obviously, because you don't want to get to the point, at least I don't want him to get to the point, if I was the owner of GM, where he's still producing at this rate, and at 30, then there's going to be demands for a 10 or 12 year contract, that monster money. So, just financially speaking, that's something I would be thinking about if I were the owner or the GM of the Angels. Even if it's 5 years, whatever, $150 to $200 million, because at that point, he's going to wind up making probably $40 million a year anyway. So, but it'd be worth it if he's still performing at this rate. So, and again, a 5 year deal is a lot, more manageable than a 10-year deal. So, and these 30-year-old guys are getting 10-year deals. So, and, so it's something. What do you think? Let me know if you would offer him extension now, or whether you would wait until he's a free agent. And what kind of extension would you offer him? Because I think right now is the time to do it. When he's 27, you tack on a bunch of years. And 5 is good. They'll still take him to he's 35. Who knows if he wants to stay here until he's 40 anyway, being from Japan. So that's another thing to consider. You might want to go back home at some point and play a few years over there. But right now, look at him. He's the most dynamic, exciting player in the game. And I think when Trout comes back, it's adding him to that offense, and man. And whatever they do this offseason, and they have Pujols money coming off the books this offseason. Upton's coming off the next offseason. Don't be surprised if they sign a Trevor Story or one of these big shortstops to plug in there and create it's just a huge juggernaut in the offense, and go after a couple of big pitchers this offseason too. He has shown a propensity to spend, but it's generally been in the offseason. So, there's some more guys coming off the books this offseason. Not the sexiest group in terms of pitchers, but that shortstop group is robust, and there's still 4 or 5 of them available. 4 of 5. So, what would you do with Shohei Otani? Would you extend him now, or offer him an extension now? If he says no, he says no. And then you just live out the contract, and if he's performing well, you decide then. or if he's not, then you can move on from him. So, like, but he's clearly not Kei Igawa. He's not going to, like, tank like Igawa did with the Yankees. This is a special talent here, and it's a once-in-a-generation player that we have not seen doing this on both sides of the field. So it's amazing, and that's why to me this question should be entertained. And again, if you were a GM or owner, what would you offer? Put them in the comments down below. I would personally offer about a 4 or 5 year extension, and with some big money attached to it. So it's more palatable to me than a 10-year deal for crazy money. Tying up the teams that long is kind of insane in my opinion, and they're going to have a boatload of big salaries on that payroll anyway. So, and again, thinking if he wants to go back to Japan afterward, that's why a couple of reasons I would limit it to 5 years. You could have some team options attached to it on the back end. Sure, could do that, and options that the team don't have to exercise. But at that point, he would already have made probably $200 million anyway. So let me know what you think, guys.